Okay. So RTI, we understood that right to information was considered, the Right to Information Act was considered as the most powerful legislation by the second ARC since the independence. It said that your right to information has opened the lock of the good governance. The key has been RTI. The RTI has actually helped enable us to achieve a good governance, and it has opened the lock of the good governance. It has been able to deal with public corruption. It has been able to make the government more accountable, transparent, right, responsible, efficient, and it has empowered the citizenry. Why? Because your information brings knowledge about the working of the government departments, and knowledge is power. So this knowledge actually helps the people to question, seek better service, and it has enabled the citizenry. It has enabled the citizen to participate, to help the government, and to help the other citizens in bringing accountability. Right. So this is the importance of the RTI. However, there are certain issues. When I look at the Right to Information Act and issues, right? The first issue is lack of the clarity on the jurisdiction. Okay. Okay, let me first start off with the positives. We've revised the positives, but in the positive, when you have written the empowerment of the citizen, जहां पे आपने empowerment of citizen लिखा है, वहां पे you can write these two examples. You can write these two examples. One example can be MKSS, Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan. Okay, so it is the laborers and the farmers empowered council. The Empowered Council, Laborers and the Farmers Empowered Council, MKSS, and also the Parivartan. RTI has led to greater say, increase and the greater say of civil society organizations like NGO in the functioning of the, in the governance, So RTI has empowered citizens. It has, and you can write these two examples, MKSS and your Parivartan. Right? They have been exclusively focusing on promoting the Citizens Charter and RTI. These two organizations, they have been focusing on promoting the RTI and also the Citizen Charter. Right? So this is what you can write, these two examples. The other thing about the RTI, certain issues about the RTI. Certain issues in the RTI and the issues. The first issue that you can write about is the weakness in the law. The second point, Parivartan. First is about the empowerment of the citizen, and the examples you can give is about Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan. Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan and an NGO by the name Parivartan. These are the examples you can write. They have been promoting RTI and Citizen Charter. And because of this, because of the RTI and Citizen Charter, there has been greater say, greater involvement of the civil societies and the NGOs in the governance. It is said that governance is too serious a business to be left to government alone. Governance ये इतना serious मुद्दा है कि सिर्फ government नहीं देखेंगे governance को. Governance की responsibility NGOs, civil societies, people and the other pressure groups along with the government. So governance is too serious a business for the government alone, right? So this is what your RTI does, decision making in the hands of different stakeholders. This is what your Citizen Charter does, empowering the citizen. But your RTI has certain issues. The first issue has been the weakness in the law. Weakness in the law. And the later amendments have weakened the implementation of RTI. For example, law is not clear about the public authority who all will lie under who all are under public authority. किस किस को information देनी है. Public authority has to give an information, but law is not clear about who is public authority. Whether this will form on any government organization will fall in public authority or not. The law is unclear about it. It is unclear about the jurisdiction. It is unclear about jurisdiction. This is the first weakness, that the law is weak and the later amendments have further made the law weak. The second issue with the RTI it has slowed the decision making. It has slowed the decision making in the governance. It has slowed the decision making and created a risk averse culture. Risk averse culture. So एक risk averse culture आ गया. क्यों ले risk? RTI में फंसे जाएंगे. File notings ली जाएगी. So rather than taking risk, people have become risk averse. They are not taking innovations. They have become risk averse. There has been a less of innovation by the civil servants. So it has slowed the decision making, as well as the civil servants, they have become risk averse. Also, the RTI there have been a news about the harassment of the RTI activists. So these RTI activists has been harassed. So this is also an issue in the law. There has been harassment of the RTI activists. There have been issue in the implementation of law because of the attitudinal issues. The attitudinal issue among the bureaucrats. Bureaucrats, they have attitudinal issues for the implementation of the RTI. So what happened is, before the introduction of RTI, let's understand a background. Before the introduction of RTI, before the introduction of RTI, the bureaucracy was working in silos, There was a culture of elitism, secrecy. That is, when they say they were working in silos, that is, the bureaucracy was away from public scrutiny, public scrutiny. People की scrutiny पे नहीं थे. People were not scrutinizing them. There was an elitist culture. The people were working in bureaucracy was working in silos. There was a culture of secrecy. There was culture of the secrecy. So this was the culture before the introduction of RTI. Secrecy, bureaucracy working in silos. Now what will happen is, what I'm saying, that one of the issue is the bureaucratic mindset. Before the RTI, information was only with the bureaucrats. Now anybody is asking for information. Because anybody is asking for information, the attitudinal change has not happened, and therefore the information is being preserved. That information is not being given. So this also becomes an issue in the implementation of the RTI. One is, the law has been weakened because of the amendments. There is weaknesses in the form of who is under the RTI, who is public authority that has to give an information. What is the jurisdiction of the RTI? There has been harassment of the RTI activists, as far as murder of some of the RTI activists. And because anybody can seek information, the bureaucrats have become risk averse. They are not willing to take risk. They are not willing to engage. They are not willing to innovate. Because RTI के अंदर कोई भी file noting मांग लेगा, तो काम ही क्यों करे? And there is also an attitudinal issues. The attitudinal issues of not sharing the information. Okay. Therefore, it is said that RTI. Therefore, some say that RTI has compromised the efficiency. Has compromised the efficiency and the speed of decision making, and the speed of the डिसीजन मेकिंग। तो आरटीआई ने डिसीजन मेकिंग की स्पीड को स्लो कर दिया है और एफिशिएंसी को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया है। दैट इज अबाउट योर आरटीआई।